look at the front first. I noticed we've got some major bubbling issues going on with the hood. Definitely the rust has gotten in there and started to eat away, unfortunately. And when I go to clean this, pressure wash it, this is not going to be pretty. I'm going to have to be as gentle as I can. Pretty straight otherwise. Body's all here. I think I was told, if I remember right, that this is not the original top. It has had a top replacement at some point, and honestly it looks pretty good, thank goodness. It's got looks like we got a little bit of a rust issue streaking going on there. I think I see a hole right about here, but it'll definitely suffice for summertime driving. Absolutely, 100%. Unfortunately, as you can see by the straw here, that it's got a locked wheel, which hopefully will be fairly easy to break loose again. Famous last words. Back is all intact, of course. Nothing much to see there. The glass, I think this is glass. It's all intact, so that's good. That should clean up all right. Now you see this side does have the skirt with the original hubcap on there. So we're also missing 2 hubcaps on the other side, so we're gonna have to chase all that down. That'll be fabulous. So I think she'll be, she needs to get back on the road, I think. Let's go ahead and check the trunk and the interior now. All right, what do we got? Okay, well, it's all here. Honestly, when I did that Lincoln Town Car, it was rather disgusting too, and it was worse than this. Door panels all there. It does appear that this is all 100% vinyl, just a loosey-goosey gander here. That's all right. Seats are in pretty good condition. We've got cobwebs all along the back there. That's terrific. Looks like we're gonna have another detailing episode. Good grief! Look how big that brake pedal and that gas pedal is. You guys see that? Look at that thing. That's my hand. I'm a bigger guy. That is an absolutely monster of a gas pedal. Yes. So we've got much detailing. It does. Ooh, it does have air conditioning. At least once upon a time. At least from the factory it did. So dash pad looks pretty good too. Steering wheel. Yeah, it's typical of these cars when they get the dried out, cracked, unfortunately. And open up the other side. Yeah. I mean, it's all here. It just needs a heavy detailing. Hope you guys don't mind long episodes, because this might turn out to be one of them. All right, let's see what we got here. I have legitimately not been in here yet. So you guys are going to find out with me if I have the right set of keys or not. That's the ignition key. Should be that key. Oh, good grief. Come on. There we go. Oh, got the pop. Oh, dear. Hello? Open? Oh, it's been sitting a while. Oh, good deal. Oh, we got 2 tires. We got a white wall, 1 and 2. And there's the wheel skirt. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so, and we got 2 of the original hubcaps. And it looks like we've got some original floor mats. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at our power plant here. I'm in a 500-pound hunt. I'm gonna get myself a hernia trying to open this thing up. Oh, no rat's nests. First indications, it's old but clean. Oh, wait a minute. There's a bit of a rat's nest there. Well, that's not bad. I'll take that over the Chrysler New Yorker and the Town Car status any day. This is a much better state. I don't have to spend the next day and a half trying to unearth an engine. Let's take a quick overview here. We are missing a belt, power steering pump. Oh, there is the belt right there. Why it's disconnected, I don't know. It is a bit concerning, perhaps not. I don't know. The belt's intact, so I don't know. Let's take a look at some fluids right quick, I guess. Making sure we're not missing anything. Make sure there's no water in the freaking crankcase. Let's look at our water first. Yeah, you guys, again, one of these days I'm going to be able to get down in there and I'm going to show you guys the water level. Oh, it's right about here. Looks kind of, looks kind of gunky though. That's, yeah, that's not right. Okay, let's check our Earl. Look at that. This oil's new. It's right on the full mark. And it's really clean, actually. Camera probably is not picking that up that well because it's so clear. So it had an oil change shortly before its unwilling to start demise. Transmission. Oh yeah. Yep. It is. Where's the full mark? Full mark is right down towards the bottom. It is reddish in color. Actually, it looks pretty good. Cool. All right. Well, that means our transmission won't be burning up if the oil pump still works. So that's good. Go ahead and put Let's go ahead now. I want to turn that crankshaft over by hand, make sure the engine is not frozen. And then maybe we'll go ahead and pull some spark plugs out and we'll just continue to start digging into it a little bit and see what's going on with it. Okay, here goes nothing. I'll get this out of the way for you guys. Come on. Oh, yes. Ooh. Ooh. Belts are a little crusty, but it moves. Yes. I think that's coming from the air compressor up here, that sound. Oh, good deal. I'm not putting much force in it, so fortunately, she's not frozen. Belts are going a little bit crunchy crunch on us, though. Oh, cool. All right. I'm not going to start on the carburetor first. I don't know. Let's see here. Go ahead and see if we can get this carburetor pop loose right quick. There we go. It does look like our accelerator pump is not stuck. Well, that's a good thing. All right. That's your secondaries. Secondaries won't open up unless your choke's open. Yep. Let's go ahead and pull some spark plugs. Maybe we'll look out. I got all four extracted. Broke the front cylinder, of course. Just my luck. They look pretty good. There's some ash deposits on here, I see. I doubt the camera's going to pick it up, so it looks like it might be burning a little bit of oil, possibly. But we'll go ahead, and since we're in here, we'll probably go ahead and replace them. All right, these front ones on these 455s are a pain. Not easy to get to. This one's not so bad, I guess. All right, so this is the right side bank of spark plugs. We do have some More ash deposits here. Again, they're not terrible, but she's burning some oil, it looks like. Alright, so today's upper cylinder lubricant of choice will be diesel. We're just going to go spray all 8 cylinders down, spin it by hand, put some more diesel down, rinse and repeat. Uh-oh. Might be just about out. All right. Well, there's no water shooting out of the cylinders, so looks like our head gaskets are still intact. Okay. All right, so the next bit, then go ahead and just pull the distributor off and see what lurks underneath there. You guys see that wire? It's on the negative side of the distributor, meaning that's your switch side for the on-off. That's your signal to turn the coil on and off. And it looks like it came out of its solder joint, perhaps. Is that the reason why the car failed? Okay. Yeah, looks good to me. Slightly used, but not terrible. Rotor looks to be in all right condition. I found the wire that connects up to our coil. I'll have to review the footage, but I don't remember even touching this wire. You know, when I was fumbling around, maybe I pulled it apart. I don't know. This is the only reason I see immediately, if I never really touched this, why this thing didn't start. Looking at the points, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, I highly doubt it, but yeah, they're not in bad condition. Fortunately, my screwdriver has a little bit of a file here, so we'll just kind of scrapey while we're in here right quick. Get a few slaps. Just to say, hey, oxidation. Remove yourself from my presence. Click, click. And since we're here, let's just go ahead and solder up our signal wire. Snip a little bit of this off here to get some nice fresh copper. Light it up. Hopefully I got enough fuel left. There we go. So we're going to do the wrong thing and just tape it and pretend that doesn't even exist. Just let it disappear. Working on the carburetor, I immediately see a problem. You John Motors fanboys know exactly what you're looking at, or technically not looking at right now. We are missing the adapter where the fuel filter is, basically the fuel filter housing. This comes up from your fuel pump, which is right here. It goes into here, goes into a filter housing, goes through a filter, and then into the carburetor. Why that's missing, I'm not sure. I'm hoping, as evidenced by people who have been in here before, this belt's loose and the power steering pump's belt's loose. I'm hoping that is somewhere on the car itself. Hopefully someone put some parts somewhere. Let me go ahead and scrounge around the car and see if we can't find that right quick. And I think, and I found it. Here we go. We got 2 fuel filters here and the fuel filter housing adapter, which looks absolutely hideous. Go ahead and clean this up a bit. Try to clean up those threads. Just a little above hand tight. I have decided to go ahead and install new spark plugs because the clumsy ox that I am, I broke off about 30 of these on the spark plug wires. I was pulling them off, even though it's a V8 engine. Don't bother to do the math, you're just going to hurt yourself. I'm going to install some wires, get the carburetor primed, and about ready to light her off. Where's my fire extinguisher? Oh, crud. I have to go get that. Right. Rewiring. Okay. So where's one? Should be this one right here. Whew, heat's getting to me, peoples. Heat is getting to me. Oh, the heat is on. Oh, no, that's copyright. You can't do that. To tighten up your alternator belt on this car, grab your trusted tire iron, shove it in a hole, push, then tighten. It really is that easy, people. Just like that. There you go. Believe it or not, it's really quite that easy. To reiterate, fresh mixed gas pumping direct into the carburetor via the old clicky-clacky. The OEM fuel pump is going to go into that catch basin over there, and that's going to test if I can get my 2 gallons I dumped in the rear tank to pump up here. That'll tell us if our lines are good and flush the system out if that pump is still any good. We go ahead and we connected our battery. What we're going to do now is just turn on the fuel pump, make sure there's no leaks in the carburetor, and then test the squirters and turn it over and see if it fires. So, priming the fuel system. Okay, not loaded up. Oh yeah, and it's overflowing on the vents. Might have to have a tap with this thing. No, still wants to overflow. That's just fantastic. Golly. Do our squirters even work? Yeah, I hear them. I don't know, let's just fire it up just for fun. Try it without the fuel pump on and just see if it tries to light up or not. Start with the basics, I guess. Contact. Clear prompt. That don't sound good. Again. Nope. Well, now, why? Now points could be off. Typical. Okay, so we've got a good ground. And you crank this over and see if it wants a spark or not. See if it's going on and off on us. Nope. Points need adjusted and or cleaned. Looks like my screwdriver trick may not have worked. Yeah, points are definitely not working. They are not triggering the coil. Alright. You guys may or may not be able to see it, but there's the points. and they are pretty corroded there, so a little bit of cleaning. My screwdriver didn't do anything with these points. Bad screwdriver. Alright, let's just try it again, I guess. There we go. Guys see that? I'm cranking it over. Now you see the light briefly go on and off. It's not great, but now we're getting an impulse. I don't have my feeler gauge with me, so I'm literally going to do this just by my eyesight. This is probably a recipe for disaster. How big of a gap is that? Okay, we've got spark. Well, the coils is being told to turn on and off, so it's closer. Okay. Right, here we go again. I'll do something this time. Using the latest technology as far as bench testing a coil and spark plug goes, I grounded out the coil to the battery with said spark plug in on top of the battery post to ensure proper grounding out. We hit the positive and we do not have a spark whatsoever. You can hear me arcing the coil. As you can see, spark plug, nothing. This is no good. There's no sparky spark. So I'm gonna have to go to the store. We have got a new coil sitting in the back. Got everything all re-buttoned down. Go ahead and recharge the carburetor bowl and then shut it off unless the float has somehow found itself unstuck. We'll give it another crank. Ooh. Sounded promising there for a second. Might have a carburetor issue. It won't be the first time on this channel. Oops. Our cat's jug is full of kerosene, it looks like, or molasses. What I'm doing to maintain it is turning the fuel pump on and off manually on the battery. So the carburetor still might need some tinkering with or poking and prodding. But it looks like our fuel pump works and our fuel pump lines are intact. In the meantime, I'm probably going to go ahead and pull this carburetor off and maybe pull the top horn off and take a look at our float, see if it is legitimately stuck. And of course, coming out of the tailpipe is the remains. Oh, isn't that just lovely? I hope there's nothing else in there. Hopefully we won't have an exhaust fire. That would be really interesting. I've elected to pull the old carburetor completely off. I tried taking the horn off. Unfortunately, I busted the bolt down there. That bolt's just plain stuck, even though I rocked it back and forth. Plus, we flip it to the other side. The secondaries are completely seized in their bores. After 26 years, yeah, that's going to require a lot of messing about to get that right. So, we're going to go ahead and shelve the Quadrajet and do a little bit of an upgrade. I have gotten myself a used carburetor. I'm going to stick that on there, and hopefully this is going to run and idle a lot better. Okay, we'll do crisscross since we're dealing with aluminiums. I don't want to warp anything per se. We got everything bolted up. We'll go ahead and fire it up and see what it sounds like. Our fuel tank is completely empty now, as this thing did not fill up anymore. So let's go ahead. I'm going to dump 5 gallons of gas in the gas tank, pump a little bit more out, and then we're going to see if it can nurse off its own tank and remove my mixed gas jug. I'm not sure if I'm ecstatic with the flow rate, but I think it's time to go ahead and hook up the main car tank to the carburetor and see what happens. We have got the engine-driven pump hooked up to the fuel filter directly to the carburetor. Let's go see if it can run under its own juice now. No, no. Tee off right. Ha! Well, this could be shady as all get out. Oh, maybe not. Well, that wasn't so painful. Ugh. It's only flat on one side of the tire. Ow. I can't turn it by hand yet, but I got enough crud out of the drum. Well, let's put the wheel back on and start up the car. Maybe see if the engine can break itself. With the engine power, if we can break it loose. Well, this will take another 5 minutes. At least. Well, I've been continuing to bang on this for a while now. Another 10-15 minutes. I think I'm getting closer. See how this is finally starting to wiggle a little bit? The drum's actually, I got some wiggle to it now. So hopefully we're getting closer. Let's give that a try. All right. Oh, good deal. What you do is you can go like take a half. So you pretty much did a half here. Probably this also is part of the top, so you can hit the window up. Go ahead and dunk your brush again.
Can you bring the bucket over? It's pretty
heavy. Yeah. The bucket's pretty heavy. Hey, no, my back. So basically, this half, and then we'll get to the other side and do the other half of it. There you go.
Yeah, it's working.
Very nice. I don't see any chips or dings in that windshield. I like it. I decided to choose the electric power washer. So when we dug in here, it actually didn't dig in too bad actually. It needs to be refurbished or replaced, but it's looking pretty good. Well, I'm gonna have to, again, we'll have to try the rubbing compound and see if we can take that out. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I might try it and see if I have any success with that. I might try to give you guys an update on that. But cleans up very nicely. Now we've got done scrubbing the outside, let's turn to the inside and see what we got. Let's go ahead and drop the top right quick, or try to, and see if it even works. Latch here. Latch here. Okay, all right, let's see. Cool. Ooh. She's a little crusty on the joints. They may be frozen up. There she goes. This needs a little bit of help. It's been probably 26 to 30 years since it's been dropped. Honestly, I was kind of surprised how easy it was. Relatively. We'll go ahead and start with our doors and work our way into the interior. We possibly might have some of that black mold here, so I'm going to hit up with some white vinegar first, scrub it all down with white vinegar, rinse it all off with water, aka just a damp cloth to wash all that vinegar off, and then we'll hit our bottle protectant on it, and then we'll continue inward. I say it's just a little dirty. Now we got it rinsed off. Get some protectant on there. Don't forget your 30-foot long pole handle. Okay. Where's my tip? Oh no, it's been lost for years. But it does the job pretty good. Other side. Hey! Scrub time! back sides are going to clamp nicely at least. All the seats now have been vinegared. Go ahead and wash her down now with this damp cloth and get some protectant on it. It's been sitting a while. If we want to preserve this dash pad, it's really good looking. I don't see one crack in it yet. So we want to put it on nice and heavy. I know it's just going to suck it all right in. But this steering wheel got this black residue is coming off of it. That literally came off the steering wheel. See some blue under it. So I think I'm gonna elect to use some simple green and just see if we can't get this icky rubber coating off. Alright, interior is basically done for the most bit. Have a little look-see here. I did try it as best I could to get that black rubber coating off of here. It did all right, but it's still, there's some residue heat there, and it's going to require quite many hours of scrubbing on that. But at least now when you touch it, we don't have any black residue coming from the steering wheel. The dash looks pretty good. Cleans up very nicely. Not one crack on it that I see. That is fabulous. I know, this steering wheel is just in awful condition. We're going to have to revisit that later. I think you can get them refinished, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that later. And of course, the back seats are in pretty good condition. I notice now that there's a lot of cracking going on in that middle section with that vinyl. Eventually that'll have to get replaced at. I'll have to work on the windows next, but I'll just do that off camera because that is incredibly boring. I tried putting on the cover. I don't know if this thing shrunk, but you're supposed to, I believe, hook it here into the back of the trim, and there's some Velcro here. Not sure if that's supposed to go on a Velcro strip that maybe might have disappeared. So probably have to ride without it, but that'll be fine. I won't have any passengers, so I don't have to worry about anybody bonking their head on that. But it definitely cleans up very nicely. really satisfied with the results. All right, on to the next bit. Probably electrical. So with the electrical system, what I like to do is fire up the engine, make sure the alternator and the charging system works, roll the windows down, as well as making sure our headlights and taillights work in case I'm driving home in the dark. Let's go ahead and fire it up and test some electrical out. Fire extinguisher is on standby. Alright. Nope, not working. Only got 12.5 volts. Needs to be at least 13.5, 14 ideally. Check the back of the alternator. Make sure the electricity is not getting lost. That's on the main charging wire on the alternator, still not charging. So this thing is not working at all. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump our field terminal and see if the alternator will put out manually. The field wire is what you pulse it with 12 volts to get this to charge. You get on that field wire and hold it, you're telling the alternator to turn on all the time, which can be dangerous because you can overcharge your battery and do a whole bunch of nastiness to it. But for our purposes, we'll go ahead and short it out momentarily and see if we can get this thing up to 14 volts. So here's our battery voltage. I'm taking a hot wire, which I've rigged over here, going through my jumper cable. I'm going to touch it to the field wire in the back. That's the blue wire on this particular GM. It's the blue wire. Go ahead and unplug the cable going from the regulator. We'll put that aside. We're simply going to jump the field terminal, and we'll see if that ramps up. And there you go. You also hear the engine pull down. That means it's taking it on, it's taking the load. So our alternator works. Right now I'm holding it down, so basically the alternator is generating 100% of the time. It's not, I don't recommend it, but our battery's down enough, it's not going to overcharge the battery. Now I pull it off, now it goes back down. So basically what the regulator does is turn that field winding on and off really fast, like this. On, off. It goes a lot faster, but you guys get the idea. So as you can see, every time I touch it, it jumps up. Just like that. Now if I full field it, which don't do it for very long. You can do it for a little bit, but not very long. You'll overheat your alternator too and probably burn out your bearings if you continue to do that, or overcharge your battery, or both. As you can see, our alternator works just fine. It'll eventually go up to 14 volts, but this battery is worn down from me cranking on it so much. So, go ahead and shut this off for a second. All right, so we got a charge from it. So that means two things. Either the wire's going to the regulator or shot, there's a break in the line somewhere, or that regulator is just simply kaput. Let's check it out. So here's the regulator on the back of the firewall. I disconnected the harness just to easy access the pins. We're going to test our field wire first. I don't know if you guys can hear that beeping or not, but that means we got continuity from the field wire to our regulator. So that wire checks out for continuity. Next would be your regulator wire. Yep. So these two wires, the regulator wire and the field wire, the signal is getting to the regulator. Now all we need to do is test our hot wire and our switched hot. And if those check out, we got a dead regulator. Let's go ahead and get our test probe right quick. Before you test the circuit, make sure your test light works. We know we have a good ground now. So this one should be hot at all times. Indeed it is. Keys out of the ignition. Keys are right here. Now, this wire is your switched wire, and that should turn on and off with the key. Let's take a look. And there you go. On, off, on, off. The last thing to check for is to make sure this case is grounded. It has to be grounded for it to work. So I got a good ground on here, as you can see. I can test the engine block. We got good ground. Yep. And indeed we do have a good ground to our regulator, which means the regulator is shot. Replacing. If this thing's old enough, it might still be the old point style. Feels heavy enough, it might. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's a point style because these new style are transistorized and they just got rivets to hold this cover in. This has got actual screws. I bet you this is the point style. That's fine. No worries. Alright. New regulator in. Let's give this a try now. There you go. Perfection. It'll slowly climb up to 14 volts, I'm sure. But now at least the battery's charging. That's a lovely feature. Now let's go ahead and test some lights. We do love some lightage. Well, look at that. That's pretty cool how I put the Oldsmobile symbol over the marker light. That's pretty nifty. That's pretty cool. Just don't see that anymore. Hey, we got two taillights here. Oh wow, even that marker light works. Let's check the front. So in the front, so we got a marker light. Hey, we got a headlight. How about the other side? Hey, we got another headlight. Marker light? Oh, well. I can't have everything, but we'll definitely take it. Excellent. Let's go ahead and test our windows now. Key on. Switches. Oh no, everything's dead. Okie dokie then. Got the old GoPro camera on here now. What I think I'm going to do is start with the relay first. The regulator contact points, I'm sure, were shot after 26 years. I'm pretty sure that relay is also shot because it also has contact points. Unfortunately, to get up in here, you have to basically find your fuse box on this Oldsmobile and similar flavors, similar vintage, and go up underneath a dash. And if I can do this without hurting myself, hang on a second, guys. The relay, of course, thank you General Motors, is way up there. There it is. What does the schematics say? One of those is the hot wire from the circuit breaker, hot at all times, unless it's popped. The other one is a switched wire that goes to your ignition switch, runs through a fuse. And the last wire would be the load wire going to your window switch. You have to have both your circuit breaker side hot and your ignition side switch hot in order to pass juice through that relay to your window switch. Let's go ahead and see what kind of power, no power we got up there. Okay, I have hooked my test light up to a known good ground, so we should see something pop off here. Okay, I'll do this the best I can, guys, but this is really cramped. Okay, I do not have the key on right now,
and we have one big wire lit. Now we're going to go ahead and test this. This is the smallest wire. I'm going to assume that that is our switched wire. Let's go ahead and test that right quick. So with the key on and the power's not getting through on that red wire with the white stripe. So this relay is not allowing electricity to go through. So this relay is dead. Now as I'm pushing this, it is sort of making some clicking sounds. I'm assuming it might be a bad ground. But even if we get it to click, as we're doing right now, our light's still not lighting up. So even if it's working, those points are probably shot or corroded so much. Let's go ahead and replace that relay. So with that relay, you can buy the factory OEM style type online, which will work all right if you want to plug and play, but we're going to upgrade it to something a little bit more modern. This is your Bosch style typical relay here. Very, very standard. I can't remember what model number it is. The only thing we have to do to make this modern relay work is I have to add one ground to the relay. It doesn't ground through here. This is just a holder bracket. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get you guys up there because I got to wiggle some wires around. So we'll do a jump cut and I'll show you when it's fully installed and hopefully it's operational. Status update. We got our new Bosch style relay in here. I even went all out, heat shrink tube it, and hopefully our windows will work. Yeah, with these windows, you don't want to mash them down. You want to baby them in their tracks. I'm sure those tracks are rusted up. I'll leave a little bit sticking out so I can grab it and help it back up. Driver's side? What if we got a ground issue? Ah, there we go. Now it works now. Okay. That would be passenger front. Well, that one's gonna roll like a rocket. Okay. So it's the next morning. I want to show, we need to button some stuff up on the engine right quick. Overview, I'll show you guys my little linkage I did to adapt to the Edelbrock custom. Can't buy that at the store. We also need to set up our dwell with our points and replace a couple of the sensors right here and right here. Number one, I originally used the temperature sensor switch to basically have a spring to hold on to so I can put this thing around and get it washed. So what I did, and I know I broke the tabs off, but they felt very flimsy from the get-go. That's probably factory. But I wanted to do it just to move the car around. I made a bracket with a couple of different mounting options, and I punched a few holes in here too, and just bought a Dorman, oh, what do you call it? A throttle cable kit. It has various springs and stuff, and I found one that was kosher enough that it's soft enough you can push on it, but it's hard enough it does retract all the way against our idle stop. It looks hokey. Is it redneck? Yes. Does it work? Yes, actually it does. So we're going to replace that as well. I will also replace the oil temperature sensor, or oil pressure sensor, correction. My parts guy scared me. He had a 455 and that little bugger let go one time and fried his motor, spewed all oil all over the place. I think it'd be a good thing since we're in here and the engine's cooled off overnight. We'll go ahead and replace on that as well. So replace two sensors, set the dwell on our distributor, and we should be ready for a drive. Off camera though, full disclosure, I did change out the antifreeze as well as did an oil change. So there's our antifreeze right at the top, right there. There you go. So it's got all nice new good stuff with it. That's right there. So just below the full mark, which is just fine. When I did change the oil out, I mean, I didn't record it, but it was very boring. Although the oil that first came out, it was a lot darker than what that dipstick was showing. So I think I was able to. I got a lot of the. I don't know if the sludge settled out. I'm not sure. So I don't know if it's really had a newer oil change on it or not. So let's replace some sensors and set up the dwell first. New one. Careful I get junk in that hole there. There we go. That should be good. No, don't torque these to 60 foot-pounds. You're just gonna break something. Oh, crud muffin. I need some Teflon tape. Not prepared today, that's for sure. Whew. Oh, okay, it doesn't gush out. Good deal. Here's the old one. I have no reason to doubt that that is factory original equipment. I'm going to replace with something a lot more stout, it looks like. I like when things fit perfectly. It doesn't happen too often. No, do I have the wrong socket? Yep. You idiot. Oh, they changed sizes. Oh, okay, whatever. Right about there. That's fine. All right. Hook up our electrical accessories. May have to change that. We got a nice bare wire right here, from here to here. Okay, I'll go get the soldering kit. And if you buy yourself a quality enough soldering gun, you can also use it as a heat gun. This heat shrink tube is just a bit too big. I need to get this in the next smaller gauge, but I don't have that size, so we make do with what we have. It's not the greatest for heat shrink tubing, I'll be honest. But in a pinch, it will work and it will shrink it. That's all right. I think that'll be all right. And bish bash bosh, we plug it in. There we go. All right, so points, we need to look up some specs. This is the factory manual. Technically, this car is a 69, but 68, 69, they'll have the same motor. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if we ever got a Vista Cruiser from that 70 show. That'd be pretty interesting. All right, so where are the tune-up specs? Yes, people, before Google was around, this is how you looked up information. Fuel pump, engine, torque spec. No, those are torque specs. Oh, for goodness sake. And this is why Google was invented. Because I can't find my specs anywhere. Well, engine tune-up. Thank you. This has got to be a... Oh, it's only 7 pages long. No wonder I couldn't find it. Ugh. Adjust dwell angle to... This is the V8. 30 degrees. I figured as much. I will admit it. GM did it right. You got the little distributor window here. You can just pop it open. You can adjust your dwell on the fly while the engine's running.
with pretty much every other car, you'd have to open up the distributor cap, adjust your points, put the distributor cap back on, then start the car and see how many degrees you're off, and then rinse and repeat until you close enough or you get fed up and it runs good enough. Let's do it. Go ahead and open up our window right here. That stay in there? That stays in there. All right. So all you gotta do is open it up. Oh, it does come out. That's nice. Then literally all you do, you just stick your screwdriver in here, and just go back and forth with it until you get the desired dwell angle. Alright, so we're going to dwell. Well, it's going to get sucked into the engine, will it? Alright. Alright, let's get her started, warmed up, and see what we got. So our 12-4 8-cylinder top line, about 24.5 degrees. We need to put it all the way to 30 degrees right there. Not too bad for eyeballing the points. That's not bad at all. Get. That's floating right about 29 to 30 degrees. Good enough for me. All right, we're ready for our drive. We're gonna go up and down the coast and give you guys a nice scenic view, hopefully. Let's set sail. Should be a beautiful drive. Strike that, it's gonna be a gorgeous drive. I ordered up some good weather for us. Exhaust leak is going to get annoying though. Oh well. Too lazy to fix it.
me. This visor is also going to annoy the heck out of me. There we go. Local fish and chips there for you, sort of, George. Listen to the power of that 455 as I go bankrupt, fueling it up. Oh, man, look at that. Of course it's too low. Scenario, since I have these cameras on, it'll be for the insurance purposes. Golly gee whiz. Come on, man. Sort yourself out.
that marine breeze coming off the ocean feels nice in this car with the sun beating down. It feels so good. there. It got chilly. Crazy Norwegians, fish and chips. Lovely. We'll have to go with that later. Oh, there's the money shot. I think the 98 can handle it.
road still isn't rough yet. I must say, I really enjoyed getting this car going again. As far as the performance goes, yeah, it's pretty much the typical of all of these land yachts from this era. It could pass anything except for the gas station. Surprisingly, there was not a whole lot of body roll to this car. I think that it helps that it's convertible, so you have a lower center of gravity. There's not as much metal on top, and I really think that helped minimize the body roll to it. We still have much work to do on this car. The heater core has been bypassed. It has the wrong carburetor on it. The fuel gauge doesn't work. The windows and the tracks are sketchy, and some of the warning lights on the dashboard are inoperative. Oh yeah, we also have that real nasty exhaust leak we have to fix. However, it's a running and driving car. We can fix all that stuff later. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch y'all later.
Oh, look at that, Oldsmobile. These are the original, these are some original, what do you call them, you idiot? Floor mats. What now? Oh, cool, now it won't shut. I done there broken in it. Alright, well, now that we know that the engine spins over by hand, we're not dealing with a frozen block, thank goodness. I'm going to go ahead and soak the distributor down, soak the distributor down. That's right, again! We got mixed gas pumping straight into the carburetor. To reiterate, gas bubble. That carburetor adapter, you know, the threads. And as always, we spare no expense and got OEM AC Delcos. Trans Am's yelling at me right now. It says Pontiac 400, I believe, is the exact same timing as this one. Just hush, hush. Trans Am, I know you're out there yelling at me. 184, is it 2 or 3? 1843. So 184. Why is that on 2? No. 2 is not 3. Oh, someday it will be. The way everything's going on in the world these days. Up will be down, down will be up. But don't worry, guys, my channel will always be sideways.